Welcome back to another episode of Woodward Tigers. I'm your host, Nicholas Koloff, the beat reporter for the network with the one, the only, left-handed star of Michigan baseball,
Wow.
Matt Broder. How you doing?
I don't know if I can let you call me a Michigan baseball star.
I will always think of you as one.
Well, that's because you're my guy. You're my guy. Thanks for pointing out I am left-handed.
Yup.
We got a pretty intense conversation to be had about two of the top left-handed pitchers in the game today that we'll get to later in the show.
That both pitch in the American League.
Yeah.
For opposite teams.
Did Rob Parker have certain comments about one of them compared to the other one?
Yeah.
Early on,
yeah. That's going to come up again later in the show. But your Detroit Tigers are still the best team in baseball. And I got to say, they're the best story in baseball as well.
Yeah, it got to be. What an amazing season. It's been so much fun covering them, following them, just watching good baseball.
Exactly. They went 2-1 this week, losing last night to the Tampa Bay Rays, but they swept the Guardians before that in Cleveland. Nothing feels better than sweeping the Guardians. Let me just say that.
Nothing.
At all.
Getting to Cade Smith.
Getting to Clase.
All of it.
Zach McKinstry.
All of it.
Zach Mahimstry.
Yeah. It was a picture-perfect weekend on Cleveland. Until that final game, there were 2-3 runs scored all weekend.
Crazy pitching from this Detroit Tigers team that leads me to believe they can truly get the job done in the World Series. How do you navigate a all-star, superstar lineup like the LA Dodgers?
With pitching and defense. I got to throw that in. Shout out to you, Flannel. Defense is also important.
Yeah.
And there were moments in that Guardians series. They've been great defensively all season long, but you look at little things like that double that Steven Kwan hit late in the game that scored their first run to go up 1-0. There was a runner stranded on third because Wenzel Perez went and got the ball quickly in right field.
Oh, yeah.
Little things like that make all the difference. That's a win. That's a small play leading to a W.
Definitely. And talking about defense, one guy I just want to mention from last night, Matt Vierling came up on a ball and wasn't really able to put the throw down. Little bit concerning long-term for the gun in left field compared to a guy maybe like Zach McKinstry or even Riley Green if he was out there. If it was McKinstry, he would have been gunned out by a mile.
Zing.
But we'll see how it goes.
McKinstry?
Yeah, McKinstry. This team is so much fun. Best team in baseball still. This is going to drop prior to the All-Star game. That's what we're going to preface this with. But speaking of some future All-Stars, the Detroit Tigers and the best record in baseball
Number one.
also have the best minor league system in baseball.
Number one.
Where they called up 3 top 60 prospects, 2 in the top 15. Kevin McGonigal, the number 7th ranked prospect. Max Clark, the number 12th ranked prospect. And Jose Briseño, the number 58th ranked prospect. 2 Erie AA. The young guns are coming up, Broder. Do you have high expectations for them to just hit the ground running, or do you think there's going to be a little bit of a, learning curve?
I naturally want to say there's going to be a learning curve. They're going to go through slumps, and they will. But it's kind of hard to believe it the way we've followed, especially Kevin McGonigal over the last 2 months. Really, all the guys their entire minor league career have just been mashing. You move up a level, you're gonna run into some better pitching. You're gonna have to learn to adjust to different things. But I think these 3 in particular are just gonna continue to mash all the way up the ranks.
And the reason I think they are able to mash so much and completely just obliterate the average on base percentage is because the philosophy that Scott Harris had when they drafted these players and what they've preached since the moment Scott Harris got here, and that's controlling the strike zone.
Yes.
That's why you've seen these guys be so comfortable at every single level. Max Clark walks more than he strikes out. Kevin McGonigal walks more than he strikes out. That is such a rarity in baseball. And you're seeing it throughout this whole entire minor league system with our stars, super prospects, I believe he terms it. And Jose Briseño is doing it as well while having an over 1,000 OPS, who just hits nukes after nuke after nuke.
Nukes everywhere.
Exactly.
It's this developmental program that they've finally instituted. And we're talking about the players, and the players are as important as anything when creating an organization from top to bottom. But when Scott Harris got here, he also brought in Michael Berdar, hitting coach. Used to play at Michigan, had a small stint in the minor leagues, but from very early on, he was thought of as one of the brightest young minds in all of baseball. Had a job with the Giants early in his career. That's where Scott Harris got to know him. Then was named the Padres hitting coach, Major League hitting coach, I believe at age 27.
Wow.
His ability to take complex analytics and make them digestible to players, fit them to what certain players needs, and communicate that in a way that they can understand it, make adjustments accordingly. It's one of the single biggest reasons that we see this change, not just at the big league level, which we're seeing with the best team in baseball, and players like McKinstry and Baez, who were some of the worst players in baseball last year. We're seeing it at the single A level. When it starts making its way all the way up the organization, that's when you have not only a number one farm system, but one that's going to produce major league talent for the foreseeable future. That's what we can get excited about.
Exactly, and I think that's why when you talk about these prospects, and everybody's going to rise up the rankings, and we do have the number one farm system in baseball, that's why it's so exciting, because it's intriguing to other teams as well.
Yeah.
Because you can make moves and you can replenish these prospects with new ones. The draft's upcoming. Hopefully we can get Rogelio on for after the draft.
Phenomenal.
Would love to get him on. But that's, you talked about it, gets up to the majors as well. And one guy it's gotten up to that was new this year is Gleyber Torres. For the first time in his career, he has more walks than strikeouts. Mm-hmm. It's a whole entire different mindset. It's a different approach. And that's why you've seen the Detroit Tigers be so successful. And, compared to a guy that, they asked him to try to hit 30 bombs over in New York, they've completely changed Gleyber Torres' approach, and he is so successful because of it, and so successful and a big reason why the Tigers are the best team in baseball.
Yeah, and his changes, his adjustments from what they wanted to do in New York, and he did start to figure or have some spurts, hitting for average. I want to say it was later last year, but nonetheless, that has carried on throughout the lineup. You see the effects it has on Javi Baez and other players in terms of their approach at the plate. But then as a number two hitter in that lineup, I feel like I say this to you every episode, but
we have to.
How many games? It seems like almost every game in the first inning, Gleyber Torres has a 6, 8, 10 pitch at bat.
Every time.
That's everything you could ask for in the first inning. Everything you could ask for from someone at the top of the order. And real quick, you made a comment a second ago, Nick, about other teams noticing the Utes, as my cousin Vinny would say, the young players in the farm system.
Yeah.
As we start to talk about the trade deadline this year and for future years to come, think about what that does psychologically to other general managers around baseball. You want players who have been developed like these players are starting to get developed. We talk about Lions a lot at this network, the Detroit Lions, the football team.
Oh, yeah.
Teams want Detroit Lions in free agency. Players that have now been drafted or played for Dan Campbell and this coaching staff, once they hit free agency, they want a piece of that. They want to know that they know that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes saw something in these players, that the right attitude, work ethic, whatever it is, you want those players. It's going to start to happen with the Detroit Tigers in the minor leagues. We want, I can't use the Max Clark or McGonigal. We want some of their mid-tier prospects because Max Anderson, who's his OPS is
950, hitting 360.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
So whether it happens this year, we see some of the bigger names go, or just in the future, when you said that, something clicked in my head. I was like, I gotta point that out. That's amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of some of those prospects in the organization, I'm going to ask you a quick question. We hit on it a little bit earlier on the Woodward Heavyweights. Shout out 5 to 7. Make sure you guys watch it out. Do you buy or sell that this team's going to add 2 players at the deadline?
Wow.
This team will add 2 players at the deadline.
I'm going to buy.
Sell? Buy?
Buy.
All right.
I think it's going to be 2 arms, but it might be an arm and a right-handed bat. But I'm going to go with buy. Give me a bullpen. Give me a relief pitcher, though.
For sure. Definitely need the back of the bullpen help. Yeah. Even though we have a lot of guys that I really trust. Will Vest, Tommy Canley, Holton. I didn't even know if we were going to say his name today. Tyler Holton has been incredible.
Yeah, he's back.
He is back to that steady reliever that you can trust, the lefty that you needed. I wouldn't mind adding another one, but it's great to have Tyler Holt in there right now. He's back to being one of the best relievers in baseball like he was the last 2 seasons. But I'm with you. I think they have to buy two players. I think they will. I believe Scott Harris has so much ammo to work with in his farm system where he needs to get rid of some of these guys to keep moving up some of these top prospects.
I heard you make that point on the heavyweights, and it was a great point. It's like, at some point, what are you going to do with all of this?
Exactly.
If they keep developing like they will, like, I don't know, this is a conversation to have down the line, but Parker Meadows and Max Clark, even if they both continue moving forward, who plays center field?
Yep.
Who I can't really see moving Parker Meadows to right field, but do you move Max Clark to, like, so there's going to be decisions to be made. Is this the year he unloads a couple? I don't want him to unload Clark or McGonigal or Briseño, any of the top guys, but does he move a couple 5, 6, 7? I don't know. I don't know, Nick.
Is a Hao-Yu Lee possibly on the table? Because where's he going to play at the major league level? I'm not sure, but that's a guy that he traded for, so I'm curious to see what he does. But with the all-star Zach McKinstry now kind of manning third base. I mean, we talk about the help that you can get with some arms. It's looking maybe less likely that they do add the bat that everybody's talking about because of the position versatility of everybody else and everybody having somehow over 800 OPS when you look down at the lineup. Like, everybody's doing great. So I want to ask you, can this team make a World Series without adding a bat?
Yes.
And do you believe they can win the World Series without adding a bat?
Yes and yes.
I wrote down my playoff lineup if they do not add a bat.
Hit me.
But I want to hear yours first.
Oh, come on, man.
All right.
I mean, I will if you want me to. I got it ready. You going righty or lefty, or did you split it up? What'd you do?
I'm rolling with my one lineup of the best players on the team to keep them in the lineup right now. I'm starting number 1, DH, Colt Keith.
Okay.
Hitting number 2, playing second base, Gleyber Torres.
Yes. By the way, we got to talk about Colt Keith in a couple minutes.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, Colt Keith, Gleyber Torres.
Riley Green in left.
Okay.
Torque at first base. Kerry Carpenter in right field. Sacrificing a little bit of defense for that bat.
Yeah.
That is what I'm going with Kerry in right. Putting Dylan Dingler catching, hitting 6. Dylan Dingler would be nice to pick it up just a little bit more.
He's going through it a little bit, but he's still hitting the ball hard.
Exactly. I've liked some of the things, but just a little bit of a pickup. Zach McKinstry, 7, to get on base for a guy that can drive him in, and Javier Baez. Hitting 8, playing shortstop. I got Z-Mac at 3rd.
Okay.
And 9, still kind of faith, little bit maybe, Parker Meadows, who's also going through it. I did put him in because I know how much he means to this team when he's on.
Especially if you put the caveat Kerry Carpenter in right field, sacrificing a little bit of defense.
You need the help to center.
You do. So you're going to get a little, not that Matt Vierling's blowing anybody away right now, but Parker Meadows' bat isn't so hot.
Yeah.
But his defense is elite. You have him out there, you have a little better bat in Kerry Carpenter if he comes back healthy.
Exactly. And I want to know, how far away is this from your lineup that you put together? Because to me, this team can get to the World Series with this lineup. I just don't know if they can win it.
Yeah.
I think they do still need one more punch where then you can play the matchup game with everybody within the lineup, but I think you do need one certified guy at third base, and I believe his name is Eugenio Suarez.
Wow, yeah. So this is where the conversation gets interesting because, part of their magic, part of what makes them special, and part of what makes Hinch's mastermind hard to manage against is this position versatility. You don't really know who's going to be playing where. You don't have that big thumper, not big dumper. He's coming this weekend. You don't have the big thumper really anywhere except for Torque and Riley Green and Kerry Carpenter if he's in there. So if you add somebody, I feel like it has to be a Suarez. It has to be someone that immediately comes in and is one of your top 2 power hitters.
I agree. I think you have to.
I don't think you make a trade for another utility type player that might be a little bit better than Wenceel Perez. I don't know if you give up assets for that. You either go big and you have that scary bat in a lineup, or you keep making magic with this. It's fascinating to see what Scott Harris is going to do in the next, we'll call it 2.5 weeks from whenever this airs.
Yep.
I don't know.
I know, and we haven't seen him give up prospects yet. The Tigers have never been in this situation. They sold at the deadline last year and got better. Trey Sweeney was a big help last season. Don't get that twisted. I know Trey Sweeney, everybody loves to crash out on Trey Sweeney on Twitter. Trey Sweeney has been a big part of the last year for the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, and you got him for free.
Yes.
Get over it.
Exactly, and now you have a top 100 guy in Lorenzo.
Yeah, and what is he? Trey Sweeney is 25? Yeah, still developing?
Exactly, and still could be a trade piece if they do upgrade somewhere else.
Yeah, 25. Born in the 2000s.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy.
You want to hear my lineup?
I would love to hear your lineup because you just said you believe this team can win the World Series even without making an upgrade in this lineup specifically for a right-handed third baseman.
Yeah. I'm going to give you I made a righty and a lefty. I'm going to give you my right-handed lineup because I think it's the better lineup. I do have, since Kerry Carpenter is injured right now, I have him on the bench. But he'll be an asset for me to come off the bench when they bring in a reliever. I got leading off Zach McKinstry playing third base. Get that mofo up at the top of the order.
I don't hate it at all.
There's just some excitement with him.
Wait, was it Zach McKinstry or is all-star Zach McKinstry?
That's who it is, all-star Zach McKinstry.
Yep.
I love it. Gleyber Torres, number 2, playing second base.
Yep.
I got Colt Keith at number 3 as your DH. So we're going left, right, left.
Yep.
Riley Green batting 4th, playing left field. Spencer Torkelson batting 5th. Dylan Dingler catching, batting 6th. Wenceel Perez batting 7th.
Out and right.
Yep. Batting left-handed against a righty. Javier Baez at number 8, and Parker Meadows playing center, batting 9th. And Javier Baez playing shortstop in this lineup. You got Jahmai Jones on the bench for when they bring in a lefty. You got Vierling on the bench for when they bring in a lefty, and Kerry Carpenter on the bench also for when they go back to a right-handed pitcher.
That's a phenomenal lineup. I like that spot. Wenceel Perez also got to get back in the got to get back to it, but I think that's a lineup that is, it's not proven in the playoffs.
No,
but we've seen it all season. They have the best record in baseball. Can they keep that up throughout? I think they can, but you're going to go up against the biggest and the baddest when you get to the World Series. But that lineup and that help off the bench, having Kerry, having Jahmai Jones right now, that is some powerful specialists when it comes down to it. And that's what I want to maybe get your take a little bit about for when a lefty enters the chat. Maybe not starting, but, well, even starting, but because we talk about this team, Riley struggles against lefties a little bit. Colt Keith struggles mightily against lefties, which we'll get to in a second. Kerry Carpenter struggles against lefties. Do you think this team, like basically what it comes down to, do they need that righty guy? You say no.
I say no. They could use him. I say no because in the playoffs, yes, you need to score some runs, but it's about your pitching staff and your bullpen.
Yep.
Like how many 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 games are there? Like you just need to have the right mix of guys to scratch a run across at the right time. You need to chip away at their pitcher, have really good at-bats. Even if you end up striking out, even if you end up getting out, you only have 2 hits through 6. Did you get that starter out of there?
Yep.
Like, I want Hinch to be able to use the field as his chessboard. I want him to be unpredictable. I want the other manager to have to think innings and innings and innings ahead. What are they going to do in this close game? I want it to be a psychological warfare out there, and I think this lineup can do it. Are they worse against lefties? Yes. Whatever. We got Tarek Skubal.
There's less amount of them. There's less lefties.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah.
And I think Colt Keith is going to get better hitting lefties. Riley Green was as good hitting lefties as righties in the minor leagues. He's got some of that in him. I like Gleyber Torres. Like in my lefty lineup, I have Gleyber Torres leading off.
Yep.
Like I just want that.
Do you have Jahmai Jones in there?
I do. I have him
Starting.
batting 7th as a DH. I have Colt Keith playing third base. I'm McKinstry on the bench to be able to come in whatever position you need him in.
Yeah.
I know he's a left-handed bat, but
Possibly pinch run, win a game for you.
Exactly. That's what I want. I want Hinch to use him into his disposal.
Speaking of the guy you just talked about at third base, Colt Keith. He's been one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah, smoking.
In July. He's smoking hot. Bearded Colt is a different beast right now. Speaking of beers, got to get this one tamed here shortly. But,
hey, playoff beer, baby. Best thing in baseball. I don't think you can cut it until they fall out of that. You don't have to commit to that.
Yeah, I'm not committing
don't commit
to that on air. But Colt Keith has been on a tear, and this was the first deal that Scott Harris gave out before he ever saw a pitch in the major leagues. He signed through 2032 for up to $82 million. If he hits all these, this could be one of the best contracts, if not the best contract in baseball. How confident are you, Broder, that Colt Keith can become an all-star for the Detroit Tigers?
I'm supremely confident. I said it before the season, and a couple months of getting ripped on when I said it, but I think in the next 5 years, Colt Keith is winning a batting title. He's that good of a hitter. He's that savvy of a hitter. He's that smart of a hitter. He mashed his way through the minor leagues. They rewarded him with that contract before even seeing a pitch at the major league level. So they saw something in him outright. So if we're trusting in Scott Harris's eye for talent, there's one check for Colt Keith. His superpower, this is why I love him and I know he's going to be great. His superpower is his ability to make adjustments. It's not hitting the fastball or being able to hit off-speed pitches or he's great with 0-2 counts. It's adjustments. You see him. I think yesterday was the first time I've ever seen him smile. Like he's just very just calm and very focused, and he doesn't let bad at-bats get to him. He doesn't have them very often, but if he strikes out, it's as if it never happened for his next at-bat. I love it out of Colt Keith. I'm very confident he's going to be an all-star soon. What about you?
I'm confident that he can be an all-star because we've seen him over the past, since July started, just take over baseball games. That's what he's doing for your first place Detroit Tigers. What concerns me is the same thing that concerns me with Kerry Carpenter, and maybe a possible reason why he doesn't reach that all-star level. It's the fact in his 40 plate appearances against lefties, he's batting 162, has a 414 OPS current day. I need to see him improve against lefties, but this is normal for young hitters, young lefties in the league. So I'm not trying not to overreact to that part because he absolutely shreds right-handed pitching. He has one of the bat speed is out of this world. And he is so big and so strong. You saw the home run when he just oppoed it, completely outpowered that home run. He like jackknifed it up.
It's weird.
And it went out of the park. And
the at-bat before, he poked an off-speed pitch to left field.
Yep.
Like, he does both. He does it all.
Yeah, loving what I'm seeing for him going the other way on this. But to me,
that's fair.
To be an all-star, you got to play every day. And he has to be in the lineup against lefties and not be a liability, which a 414 OPS is currently against lefties. So I would love to see Colt Keith pick that up.
Yes.
I'm not saying that he can't at all. I don't want it to come across that way. He just needs to before I believe he can hit that peak.
Can't hate you for that.
Yeah.
And it might not happen this year. Like, I like to see him getting more at-bats against lefties. With that, we're going to see some struggles, but I don't hate you for that. If he doesn't figure out how to hit lefties, then he's not going to win a batting title. He's not going to be an all-star.
Exactly. And I think you think about you got to hit lefties. One lefty that luckily he doesn't have to face is Tarek Skubal, the best pitcher in baseball.
Damn right.
But another lefty that he is going to have to face probably in the playoffs is Max Fried of the New York Yankees. Yeah. And A.J. Hinch on the flagship said this week in a discussion with their morning show, he had a conversation with Aaron Boone of the New York Yankees, their manager. And I am paraphrasing here, but in this discussion he had with the Yankees manager, he talked about Tarek Skubal and Max Fried in the All-Star game and starting that All-Star game for the American League because Boone gets to have the decision. He talked about Max Fried returning to Atlanta, where he won a World Series in the past, where hometown guy, Aaron Boone's the manager. He talked about backing his own guy. He didn't confirm that Max Fried was going to be the starter, but all the tea leaves sounded like A.J. Hinch was kind of prepping Detroit a little bit to get ready for Tarek Skubal to not be the AL starter for the second consecutive year when everybody in baseball knows that he is worth it.
Everybody in baseball knows who the starting pitcher for the American League should be. Everybody. I'm about to get hot. Well, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about this? I gotta contain myself here for a moment.
It's ridiculous. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes in baseball. You got to put best versus best, and the two best pitchers in baseball are Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal, and Tarek Skubal's not number 2 on that list.
No.
Tarek Skubal is dominant day in, day out. He is the leader of the best team in baseball.
Tell him.
And Tarek Skubal has the best numbers to back that. He is going to be back-to-back consecutive Cy Youngs in the American League, and he is going to pick up real MVP votes for having one of the greatest pitching seasons of all time.
Yes.
That's what I believe about Aaron Boone if he puts Max Fried ahead of Tarek Skubal to start this game in Atlanta.
It would be blasphemous for Skubal not to start. And I don't even want to say, like, Max Fried's not a bad pitcher. Max Fried is one of the 5 to 7 best pitchers in baseball.
Yep.
He deserves to make the All-Star team, and he deserves to pitch earlier in that game. But since halfway through 2023, the best pitcher in baseball has been Tarek Skubal.
Oh, yeah.
That pitcher deserves to pitch the All-Star game. If he wasn't wearing the Tigers uniform, I would say the exact same thing. But you know what? He is. And they're the best team in baseball.
Exactly.
That accounts for something. He has the stats.
Yep.
That accounts for something. Maybe it accounts for most of the nod. But it's not 100% because there's a story involved to start in the All-Star game. We've talked about it with Javi Baez all year. Like, he is starting in center field. Is he the best center fielder in baseball? No. He got the fan votes, and it's because of the story, his comeback story. And he was a good center fielder when he was for the Tigers. How about the story of Skubal and the story of these 4 of the 5 All-Stars for the Tigers all starting that game? That's what I want to see, and that's what everyone wants to see. Who cares if Max Fried is going back to Atlanta?
Pitch of the second.
He could have signed with Atlanta.
Yeah.
They should boo the shit out of him.
Preach.
Like he's a Yankee now. I don't know.
And look what Atlanta's doing.
Yeah.
They're struggling. They're going to be sellers.
Right. So we don't need to give the Braves anything. We already gave them Tom Glavine back in the day.
Yeah, Smoltz.
John Smoltz.
Yep.
You know,
Gotcha.
That was one of my favorite teams. It was Smoltz.
Yeah.
They don't need Max Fried to start the All-Star game to feel good.
That's actually such a phenomenal point that he chose to not be in Atlanta.
Right.
He didn't get traded by management.
No.
They have a bunch of guys signed on very good deals for the Atlanta Braves. You didn't want to pay a pitcher who's like a top 10 pitcher in baseball, but obviously not the best pitcher in baseball. Tarek Skubal currently leading the league in WAR as a pitcher. ERA plus at a 198, which is insane. FIP, a whip, which is 0.81 as of today. Walks per 9, strikeouts per 9. Strikeout to walks ratio. He is leading the league in so many categories besides basically wins when it comes down to it. Tarek Skubal is clearly the best pitcher in baseball. You talk about the story, Broder. What did he do on Sunday Night Baseball?
Dominated.
13 Ks, balled out against the Twins. Unreal performance. Tomorrow night, he's going to pitch. This will air after, but guess what it is? Guess where it's airing? Apple TV. Prime time Friday night baseball. Tarek Skubal is a story in himself. All of baseball wants to see him pitch, and all of baseball should see him pitch starting that game in Atlanta for the AL team.
Yes. He did it. You mentioned the Guardians. Was it the Guardians on the Sunday Night Baseball?
No, it was the Twins before, but even like
I was gonna say whatever the other one is. He showed up on. It was the Fox national broadcast last Saturday. He showed up and dominated again. Tarek Skubal shows up in big games. He's gonna do it on Friday, either yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He deserves to be starting. Max Fried isn't even from Atlanta. Max Fried was drafted by the Padres. Cool.
Get him out of there.
Tarek Skubal needs to be starting the All-Star game. If you want to talk about the question mark of who should be starting, I think Paul Skeens should start. Zach Wheeler has a say in it too. But it's not the American League.
Don't say the old dog can't fucking run.
No.
Zach Wheeler's balling over there in Philly.
And his balling he's gonna earn Skubal a lot of money. He is earning Skubal a lot of money, as Skubal is every time he pitches.
I know. We're not going to deep dive into the Skubal contract today, but there's not a chance that this city lets him walk and one single owner lets him walk. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Means so much to this team.
Can't win with them.
Can't win without.
No, that was a Michael Singletary. Who was that tight end for the Niners back in the Vernon Davis?
Yeah.
Can't win with them. Can't do it.
I don't remember that quote, but hell yeah, Vernon Davis. So we got a shout out in this one. Shout out
Vernon.
Yeah. Shout out Vernon Davis. But yeah, I mean, it'd just be a travesty if he doesn't start this game. But if he doesn't, I think it's going to add an absolute fire under his ass. He talked about not even pitching if he doesn't start.
I'm down with that.
If he doesn't start this game, he's not going to pitch. Are the tea leaves as well?
Actually, that's the petty I'm here for.
Yes.
That is the petty I'm here for. If he's not named the starter, good. I'm gonna save my arm for my team.
Aaron Boone versus Skubal in the playoffs after not starting him.
Oh, I would do anything. The last thing these Tigers need is another chip on their shoulder. You know what? No, I want him to start. I do.
I do too.
That would be 1% of me is like, all right, yeah, put another chip on his shoulder.
You think you've heard a Tarek Skubal yell coming off the mound before? Imagine the ALDS against the Yankees after he strikes out the side in the first inning.
Yeah, you got Yankee Stadium and half capacity.
Yeah.
You know, Tarek Skubal's flicking off empty seats because New York baseball sucks.
Exactly. There's no way that this would just be a terrible story for baseball if he does this, but it would light a fire under Tarek Skubal's you-know-what.
Bum.
Not that he needs it because he's the best pitcher in baseball, but if he did, I would just love to hear some of those yells at Comerica Park if it is at Comerica in the playoffs.
That's the thing. Like, this Tigers team, knock on wood, like another postseason of playoff baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this town is you're down at almost every single game, if not every home game. This town's alive.
It truly is.
What's
right
it feel
now.
like?
Comerica is rock. People talk a lot about vibes, like electricity. You feel off people, you get vibes. That's why I have a great time doing the show with you because I feel like we get it. We understand what we're doing. We understand that we are talking about the best team in baseball right now. And the city of Detroit has responded to that. They know that this isn't just a one-time fling. They know this isn't just a magical run of last season. They have turned their 0.1 predictability to get into the playoffs from last season into over half of this season being the best team in baseball. The city's behind them. There's going to be a concert tomorrow night at Comerica. Jordan Davis, shout out.
I like him. He's one of my favorite artists.
I love him. He's great. And the city is behind it. I think everything that they're doing at Comerica Park is also really great. They just have like an unreal sound system. The video board's great. They're interactive with the fans. They're bringing everybody in. And Comerica Park is doing it right. And when Comerica Park is packed, it's the best place in baseball in my eyes.
You can feel it. John C. Reilly's singing happy birthday to Jack White.
Yep.
Like, I love Jason Benetti and Andy Dirks together.
Yep.
Johnny Kane and Daniela Bruce. Like, there's something magical going on. It feels so good that it's happening to these Tigers, too. Because I remember they were the ones showing up to Lions games and to Red Wings games and to Pistons games. Pistons, too, they're coming. Like, Detroit, I guess we talked about Sophie Cunningham last week, so I'll keep that aside.
Yeah.
But, like, Detroit is one of the best, if not the best sports town in this country.
I 100% agree with you. I think when Detroit is truly shining, it's when sports are at their best. Obviously, I'm biased, but it truly is what the Detroit Tigers have done to come all the way from the mud. Scott Harris taking over. He has revamped this whole entire organization, and you see it day in and day out. And now he has his biggest test, and that's actually adding and getting rid of some of these very well thought of prospects that he has developed. He's going to have to part ways with some of those guys to make real big time upgrades, because this team is the second favorite to win the World Series behind the Dodgers. There's a large margin between 1 and 2, but when this team makes some upgrades, you're going to see the Tigers not just make a playoff push. They're going for the goddamn World Series.
Let's go. I can't. I was going to say something. I think that's how Mike should be dropped.
Man, if you guys like this, make sure you guys subscribe to Woodward Sports. Smash that like button. It means the absolute world to us. We're trying to push Woodward Tigers up into the moon. Let us know down in the comments. Scooble starting, snubbed. What's going to happen? Should this team still add a third baseman, a righty bat? Buy or sell that they add 2 players. Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal, Jose Briseño. Say your favorite thing about them. What do you think?
I love it. There's so much. The vibes are immaculate. There's so much good happening with this team.
Is.
Aura, vibes, all of it. Man, this team's a bunch of dirtbags, and I love it.
And speaking of vibes, stay tuned for a lot of Detroit Tigers content coming soon. We will keep you guys posted. Stay tuned to our social media and all of our shows. It's going to be a lot of fun. A little bit more of baseball content to talk about the best team in baseball. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The Tigers have earned it. Let's give it to them.
Give
the people what they want, Nick.
And this was Woodward Tigers. Shout out Matt Broder. I'm your host, Nicholas Koloff, beat reporter for the network. Have a good one.